I'm going to show you how to put your tapestry fabric canvas onto a tapestry frame. We have these in the shop and they are, I would imagine these are probably the smallest size you can get, and to be honest, this size canvas is probably one of the smaller canvases that you would actually put on a frame, but it does help stop the fabric from warping, and it might help you if you want something a bit sturdier to hold. You just might prefer stitching with it on a frame. So it's very simple. I will show you how to attach your canvas. So I've taken the frame apart, as it's easier to get the fabric on when you have the frame apart. I'm going to measure the middle of the frame of the fabric tape, so that's half of 23, so that is 11.5. I'm putting that on in biro, and then I'm going to just mark the middle of my tapestry fabric with a little crease, so that I'm going to get both of those lined up. Now I'm going to lay my fabric onto the paper tape, and I have just some ordinary cotton thread. I'm tying a knot in both strands of thread, so I'm doubling up, and then I'm going to use, you can either use a whip stitch or a running stitch, it doesn't really matter, you just need to secure it nicely. So I've pinned it so it's easier for me to then attach. So I'm just going to do a whip stitch. I'll go every kind of half centimetre or roughly. Keeping it straight. So do that all the way along, and then tie off your thread, and then do exactly the same on the top side as well, making sure you get your middle point at the middle mark, so that when we line up and put this back in a frame, it's all going to be aligned and straight. So I've got my tapestry all stitched onto those cotton tapes, so now I'm going to put the frame back together. So you can just put it together like that. So, and now when I put the screws back in, we'll be able to tighten the frame up and make sure that the rollers don't roll, so that what you're stitching on is really nice and taut. And then you can also get a stand. In fact, I think I can put this in my normal embroidery stand, that you can put this frame in, so you can be hands-free. I'll experiment with that and I'll show you. So already those rollers feel quite tight. I'll get all the screws in and then we'll tighten them up and I'll show you what it looks like. So now I've got all my screws in, I can tighten the rollers as much as I want and then make the screws tight. So I've now got that really nice and tight, and when I want to do this bit, I can just roll the top rollers up so that I can get to it. But this just gives you just a much sturdier base to do your stitching on. What I haven't done is masking tape down the sides here, so you probably want to do that as well, because you will catch your wool along the sides. So just remember to masking tape the sides before you do it, but that is how you get your work onto a frame.